8 weeks ago, Garrett Clark made his return to vlogging, in which he stated a mandate to post every single day. It has been 4 weeks since he has last uploaded a video on his channel, and I have been getting so many questions, comments, and DMs about why. So let's discuss it. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are enjoying the content. Hit that subscribe button right before we jump into it. Be aware, if you are subscribed before this Friday, you're gonna be entered to win a pair of these amazing Goat Lane all leather golf shoes. They're the shoe that Grant Horvath collabed on. He has 2 signature releases through them. I have both of them. They're amazing. I wear them absolutely all the time. One of my favorite products. Be sure hit that subscribe button to be entered to win a pair of these, any pair you want off the site. All you have to do is be subscribed before Friday. 60% of you guys watching aren't subscribed. You might just not know. So double check it, hit that button. Okay, so before we get into the Garrett Clark side of things, I want to talk about a semi-similar related topic. I did an interview with Matt Kendrick the other day, and there were some crazy pieces of information that came out of that. One of the ones that was most interesting to me, and I think deserves to be highlighted with you guys a bit more and talked about, and almost like me reacting to my own piece of content, is when I asked him pretty point blank if he thought these YouTube golf events, this was during a conversation about his collaboration with Rick on the YouTube Masters and what's going on there. And I asked him, do you think these types of events can be profitable in the future? Do you think these types of events can go on and be big like the PGA Tour? Let's listen to what he had to say, and then I want to talk about it. But then also, do you think this can be something that one day is a profitable venture like the PGA Tour, where you have these YouTube golf events on a reoccurring basis that are, you know, the same level as a, you know, any other tour? Maybe not the PGA Tour, but any other, you know, international tour?
No, I don't.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, unless you're just talking that somebody wants to come and like throw a lot of money to get their name on it, and we are able to do it within constraints of what dollars we know have coming in. But then at the end of the day, it's like when it's this big of a collaboration, and it's going to be more than just us and Rick too. It's like obviously if we want to get other people there, it's you know, there's a lot of travel, there's a lot of, you know, our goal is that, you know, and Rick was the one that really put it out there, was like, we don't want anyone to have to pay that's in the YouTube space to show up to this event. Like, how do we make it to where we're helping, you know, make sure that their travels covered or their hotels are covered or whatever it may be. So
all right, well, there is a lot to unpack here. The reason why I wanted to react to this clip specifically is obviously for the last year, I've been championing on this channel some form of massive collaborative event between all golf content creators. This is something Rick tried to do, mainly UK-based creators, back in 2019. He talked about at the beginning of the year wanting to do something similar. We've gone back and forth. Nothing's been put in the books, but I think the promise of it is that it's going to be a well-done event. It's going to be live streamed. It is going to include all of the biggest creators. So there's all these big things coming, and it's something I'm super bullish on as far as, you know, its ability to push the community forward. But Matt Kendrick brings up some really good points, and, you know, his perspective is one that's important to listen to because he has put on this scale of event in the past. I don't think they've ever live streamed anything, but obviously they had the Good Good Shootout at TBC Sawgrass. They had the actual Good Good Championships, which is more similar. It's a $100,000 prize pool tournament for professional golfers. They've done similar things. And, you know, he's talked about many times on camera that those are not profitable events. They're not making money out of those. And so, you know, as far as it turning into something that's going to really like make a bunch of money for an independent channel, that's not something he thinks is going to happen. And I think it's interesting to talk about, and it's needed to talk about, because how is that going to then affect our ability to grow as a community? Because I think one of the most integral parts of YouTube golf evolving is putting us on a more similar map to a traditional tour. Obviously, I don't think we need to conform to what those tours are doing, but I think there is a ability for an individual to become more invested in the creators if they can watch those creators on, say, a monthly or bi-monthly basis compete against each other for a large sum of money. It's a very proven formula. It's what you see when you watch golf events. Watching a golf event, just like watching a golf YouTube video, it creates the stakes, it creates the anticipation. But if you have all of the top creators versus each other with something big on the line, people are going to pick their favorites. People are going to pick infamous characters they don't like. Maybe the Dod King comes out and a lot of people hate him and they want to watch him lose, but then a bunch of people are cheering for him because they love him and they realize, you know, he's a character and they like his character, whatever it is. It's going to create this level of excitement behind these creators. So I've been pushing this because I think it's really, really important. It's a little disheartening, I guess, to have this response, but here's my but, here's my caveat, is that's like the initial reaction is like, wow, that sucks. Like maybe this isn't going to be as good as we thought. I personally think Matt is looking at this obviously from his lens as a creator, let's call him, because he runs part of the Good channel, as a creator, as a creative entity, him, Rick, whatever, them putting themselves behind this and funding it and making this whole thing happen. I would totally agree, especially if they're talking about wanting to pay for other creators to fly out. Like, I can see how this wouldn't make sense for them as a channel. But I don't think that negates the ability for someone, whether it be like a high net worth individual, whether it be a massive brand in the golf space, to come in and to do this themselves and make it a profitable venture. Make it something that really can work. And I think that definitely can happen. I think there is a massive ability for a large entity, a high net worth individual to come into the space to host monthly 6-figure plus prize pool golf tournaments. I don't think you need to pay for creators to come out in that case. Like, I understand, you know, Rick and Good as the creators, they want to incentivize these guys to come out. I don't think if they host a tournament, there's going to be $100,000 plus prize pool. I don't. But if some big corporation or whatever can see the value in this, can see that, like, if you live stream this event, especially if you do it on like a bi-monthly basis, guaranteed you're going to have 500,000 plus concurrent. You're going to have almost 10 million eyeballs minimum on every single tournament. That's like actual like rating numbers on TV. And so you can sell advertisements that make the money back. You don't have to fund the creative travel because you're going to have this massive prize pool. I do think this can work, but I think what I've learned from this is it needs at some point to be taken out of the creator's hands and put into a high net worth individual or a corporation's hands. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I wanted to get to that. Let's talk about the vlogs now. Okay, so Garrett Clark vlogs. Now, like I said, it's been about a month since he's posted one of these. And let's just caveat this all by saying, obviously, this is my subjective opinion. In the past, I thought that's just obvious. But, you know, some people don't see that and take things I say too seriously. This is my subjective opinion. It's just my opinion. It's not fact. It might not be real. It's my subjective opinion. But I have experience in these things, so I feel like I can offer a good perspective. Anyway, let's talk about it. So it's been a month. He started off by saying he wanted to post one every single day. I think anyone with any YouTube knowledge knew that that was going to be a very tall task because the dude already is full-time with Good, which is out of, you know, a guy who's studied YouTube for the last 5 years. I don't think I've ever seen a channel that has so much like travel requirements and time requirements as Good. And again, don't get me wrong, all you people in the call, man, they're living a dream. I wish I could play golf for a living. I'm not saying it's a hard job. I'm just saying they travel a lot. It takes a lot of time. So you take that and you add the fact that he has GM Golf, which is his 1 million plus subscriber personal channel, making videos on that. And then you try to add in these daily vlogs. Like, I think the concept is like, we're living this really cool, exciting life. Let's just put a camera behind it. We're already experiencing it anyways, but then you start, it just gets exhausting. And I think that's something that people don't see. We're going to get to that. That was the mandate pretty quickly, 4 or 5 days. He had a couple days off, busy with Good, whatever. He's posted, I think, 18 of those vlogs now. So in the last 2 months, he's posted about 18 of them. Okay, the 4-week gap is what I want to talk about and kind of why I think that might have happened. So I think it really all stems back to the fact that, again, Good is a super busy entity, and Garrett is really the face of that. So everything they're doing, he has to be involved in. That's number one. Number two, GM Golf hit 1 million subscribers. If he wants to keep that going, he has to keep attention and focus into that. But number three, what people don't see is as much as it looks and probably seems conceptually easy to be like, well, everything he's already doing on a day-to-day basis is the stuff he's vlogging. He's not doing anything extra for it. So therefore, it's not adding anything extra to your life. You're just putting a camera in front of what you're already doing. What you don't know about that is when you do that, when you're vlogging, and I made 300 daily vlogs that got no views, but like it put me in that mindset. So I have a lot of experience in this type of creation. Your entire life becomes centered around, should I film this? Should I not? Is this interesting? How can I make this more interesting? And that's like a tiny little thing. I get it, but that never shuts off. That's 24/7. That is not 9 to 5. I don't care how hard you work in a 9 to 5. At 5, if you're working really hard in that 9 to 5, and you can clock out a lot of the time, and you can leave, and whatever, and like that's awesome. But this type of thing, it's like it drains you mentally. And again, I'm not. People are gonna freak out. You're comparing it to laying pipe and no, I'm not. I'm just saying it never shuts off. I'm just trying to give you an example. This vlogging mentality never shuts off. Even Good, GM Golf. When you're filming golf videos on course, you show up. You might have a little thought, built the idea beforehand, whatever. You show up to the course, you film the video, you're there for 6 hours filming, but then you leave. And especially if you're like Good or GM Golf and you have editors, you just pass that off and you don't see it again until you need revisions. And then maybe you do a little title thumbnail, but you switch off. But if you're vlogging, it's like everything you do in that day is like, should I film this? Should I not? Is this enough content? Am I getting enough content for the vlog? Is this going to be an interesting video? Is there enough story in today's video? Etc, etc, etc. And that does get exhausting on the brain. So I kind of just think that although they have an infinite amount of content, which I think is why Garrett wanted to start the vlog in the first place, is like, he's realized probably he has so much interesting stuff going on in his life that it is really neat to be able to document it. I think it just is too much for anyone to handle. That's just my guess, you know? That's just my guess about why he stopped. I would say if he was serious about wanting to continue making these videos, he would need to hire like a Gary Vee style, like D-Rock, like someone who's going to follow him around 24/7 with the camera, who's holding the camera, who's filming things that are going on, who's also then completely in charge of the editing and the thumbnails and the titles. And maybe a separate guy who's actually the editor, because I think if you're following around all day, when are you going to edit the videos? You're not going to stay up all night and edit the video. So realistically, he probably needs a full-time cameraman and a full-time editor if he wants to do daily. If he wants to upload a couple a week, then probably just one person can fit that job. And, you know, one day they're filming, the next day they're editing kind of thing. But that needs to be lifted. I think that would be a great solution, though. And I think Good, personally, I think Good should have a full-time behind-the-scenes channel. Like somebody who's working for them full-time, who's just following them around, going through the house, going through to their events, filming behind the scenes, and every other day uploading a video. You know, they film on Monday, edit, upload on Tuesday. They film on Wednesday, edit, upload on Thursday, film on Friday, edit, upload over the weekend, whatever. Like, rinse and repeat. I think that would be absolutely incredible and would solve a lot of these problems. If Garrett wants to do it personally, I think he needs a similar entity behind him. But anyway, yeah, I wanted to give some context because I've been getting so many questions about why has Garrett stopped uploading, why isn't Garrett uploading the vlog. So